The market trades sideways as we wait for its next move. Will it be March madness or sadness for the bulls? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so the market basically traded around sideways yesterday, chopping up and down, trying to find a direction, whether it wants to push higher in this 3 of 3 rally that we're in, or it finally wants to start the wave 4 pullback to test the pivot. Now, I'll get into all that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the Nasdaq. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, so no real direction in the market today. It basically traded sideways, consolidating for a day before it makes its next move. So let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 30-minute futures chart. And today is kind of going to be a recap of yesterday with a couple of little changes in it. So the first thing is the pivot. So yesterday I told you the pivot, which it always is, the 0.618 and 0.764 extension of waves 1 and 2 here, the circle 1 and the circle 2. And generally that fits without any issue, and I did not even check to see that the wave 1 over here actually pushed up over the 618 level. So when wave 3 of 3 is done, wave 4 cannot come back into wave 1 territory, which means the pivot is a little smaller than normal, so we can't go below wave 1's high here, which was 43.3975. So the bottom of the pivot is 43.3975 as opposed to the 618 at 43.23. So it changes the pivot just a little bit, but they have pushed up well over the 1.0 extension, which means we should be testing the middle to top of the pivot anyway. So not that big of a deal, just a semantics thing and a Elliott Wave rule you really don't want to break. So my mistake yesterday, but it's fixed now. And then the second thing is we have some parameters after yesterday. So we have yesterday's high at 44.73 and yesterday's low, okay, at 44.15 as our parameters for whether we're going to push higher or lower. If they break down below 44.15, then it is very likely we're starting wave 4 of 3 down. And we are going to test the pivot to see if it can hold and make the bullish push higher to complete this wave 3. However, if they are able to push higher and take out yesterday's high, okay, at 44.73, then it becomes much more likely we head up to test the 1236 at 45.16. There will be some resistance at 4,500, but the next major fib up is the 45.16 1236 fib level. So as we talked about yesterday, they can continue to push this higher. They need to take out yesterday's high. And then the next level up is 45.16. But when it does top, if it hasn't already, we expect a pullback to test the pivot in wave 4 of 3. So remember, you have big wave 1 here, the red circle, big wave 2 in the red circle. And then you have in the little black Roman numerals, you have 1 and 2 of big wave 3. And we're trying to complete wave 3 of that big wave 3, and then we would look for wave 4 down to test the pivot. Okay, so it'd be wave 4 of this wave 3, and then we would look for wave 5 back up, okay, to complete that big wave 3, assuming the pivot can hold the pullback. For the bears, when this tops and they pull back, they need to break this wave 1 high over here, which is the bottom of the pivot now. Okay, and remember that was 43.3975. So a break below that makes it very likely we are headed down and probably going to test these lows down here in the 4,100 region and probably even break them in wave 5 down, okay, to complete this bigger wave 4 of the correction. So right now we're treating the bottom as in, assuming this pivot holds. If this make or break pivot that I have here holds and we start higher and take out the high wherever this wave tops, that's a very strong indication for the bulls that the bottom is in, and we are going to complete this 5-wave pattern that I have on the chart. So again, we are looking for a break of yesterday's high or low to give us confirmation if we're going to continue this rally higher or go ahead and start that pullback into the pivot to see if it can hold. Okay. The bears want to break the pivot and break this wave 1 high ultimately, which would invalidate this move up and make it so we are likely going to test the lows and make a new low in that 4,000 region. Over on the Nasdaq, we have a very similar setup. Only difference is their wave 1 did not move up into over the 618 extension here, so the pivot stays the same as yesterday. It's the 14,168.75 area to the 14,034.75 area, and that's the area that must hold the pullback and then go up and take out the high in order to give us a solid indication that the bulls are in control and the bottom is in. So just like on the ES, they poked below the 236 extension on wave 3. And while that is technically deep enough to be a wave 4 of 3, I would like to see a deeper test of the pivot, given that we didn't push much over the 1.0. So I'm kind of still treating this as an extension of wave 3 until they pull back again below this low. So just like on the ES, yesterday's high, okay, on the Nasdaq is a key indicator for us to continue higher in wave 3, which was 14,466.75. And yesterday's low, okay, if we break that, then we're going to test the pivot and look for it to hold the wave 4 pullback there. And yesterday's low was 14,183.75. So those are the two key levels we would be watching for. A break over the high before we break the low would indicate that we're still pushing higher in wave 3. Whereas a break of the low from here, where we're at trading sideways here, would indicate that we are in wave 4 and heading down into the pivot to test support and see if we are ready to make this bullish breakout to the upside. So same thing here for the bears. They are looking to pull it back and break the pivot. So for the bears, they want to pull it back and break this 14,034.75 level. A break of that level is a strong indication that this move up has failed. We would see a move down to test these lows and probably break them and make another low to complete that bigger wave 4 down. Guys, if you like the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. Okay, there's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it will take you right over to the website. And once you get over there, check out our membership plans. We have 2 amazing plans and they both come with a 7-day free trial. The reason is I want you guys to test drive us. I want you to see what we're all about. Make sure you love it and make sure you want to be a part of this before you ever spend a penny. I really think you will, but I do want you to see it first and try it out and make sure you're happy before you ever move forward. Now we have 2 amazing plans that you can choose from. You have my Invest with Jacob room over here, and in there you get my real-time market updates, you get my buy and sell alerts, as well as I answer all of your Elliott Wave questions. I do only trade the SPY and the QQQ, so if you're looking for individual stocks, as well as a guy who absolutely crushes the market, one of the best traders I've ever seen, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. PT is a unique trader with a unique trading style, and he absolutely crushes the market. If you haven't watched my last few videos, there's some testimonials in there. There's also a bunch down here about people, what they think of him and how great he is and how he's changing people's lives. So check out PT's Throne Room. Okay, in that one, you get all of the Invest with Jacob room, everything that comes with that. Plus, you get the individual stock trading as well as the indexes and his reduced risk binary trading method that absolutely kills the market. I'm telling you guys, take that 7-day free trial just so you can see it, just so you can check it out and see what he's all about because he kills the market. Okay, guys, key takeaways for today. Yesterday's high and low on both markets. So on the ES, we're looking for a break up over the 44.73 area or a breakdown under the 44.15 area. A breakdown indicates we are in our pullback towards the pivot, and we need the pivot to hold for the bulls and then extend higher over the wave 3 of 3 high. For the bears, they want to break below the pivot, okay, and break this wave 1 high right here. And if they do that, that's a strong indication we're headed down to test these lows and most likely make a new low. Same thing on the Nasdaq. Yesterday's high and low levels are what we're watching for. A break below yesterday's low indicates that we are in wave 4 and testing the pivot. Okay, we need that to hold for the bulls and then take out the wave 3 of 3 high. Whereas a break up over the high before we break the low indicates that we're extending in the wave 3 of 3 wave higher before we start the wave 4 of 3 pullback. Okay, for the bears, they want to break the pivot at the bottom at 14,034.75. And if they do break below that level, it is a strong indication that the move up has failed and we will be testing these lows and most likely making new lows at that time. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.